Empaths, welcome back to my channel and back to Journey Through the Tarot. This week we're going to talk about our week with some change with the Nine of Cups and introducing the history, symbolism, and divination of the 10. Completion. We'll be completing the cups this week. This journey is inspired by Dirty and Divine, a transformative journey through tarot by Alice B. Grist. She spent a day with each card. We're spending a week. And we're getting a lot of the information from one of my tarot teachers, Robert M. Place, his book, The Tarot, History, Symbolism, and Divination. So let's get started with. I have not felt like making a video, and I don't always feel enthusiastic jumping up ready to film, but I'm just in a, some people brought up the words pandemic fatigue, and being online so much can certainly have its effect, and just all the stuff that's happening in the collective, and it's a lot. A lot of people are needing emotional support at this time, and I'm often that go-to friend. They put up the bat signal or something, I don't know, but I felt a lot of people tuning into my energy, calling on my energy, and physically reaching out, and it's one of those things where I'm really happy that I am that person. I guess I have worked hard to be that person for people. And I'm learning how to create reciprocal relationships in that respect. It's challenging. But it's transforming. I can feel it changing. And the results in my life changing. That's not really to do with the Nine of Cups. That's just what happened this past little while, which is why I feel like right after I hit the 1K here with subscribers, you supported me in getting to over 1,000 subscribers. And I was so grateful for that. And that was a huge goal. And we've surpassed that now. That was a manifestation, a wish fulfillment. And I'm not sure what I expected to happen at that point. That was just a goal. It wasn't like, I guess it was linked to what I assumed I would feel or what I assumed might happen. That, sometimes you create these goals thinking once you reach that, there will be some shift emotionally, or you'll elevate somehow in fulfillment or whatever it is. And I guess that was fleeting. That part was fleeting. I kind of got accustomed to it pretty quickly, which is human nature. That's why you set the next goal then, right? So as far as wish fulfillment in that aspect, and I guarded not to get smug, like I'm still noting the view count and acknowledging that, things get old really fast, and I don't want to create all, like, one pick a card reading did well. I don't want to then just all of a sudden do a bunch of those and people get tired of that. So I am still thinking of what variety can I create while still following through with this journey, even though I know this isn't the most popular series. But anyway, that has nothing to do with this. Something else that really came in, Alice B. Grist talked about being fat and well-fed, and, and I have to say, like, I feel like almost every night I've dreamt about food during this card. In this card's influence, I've dreamt about food vividly every night. I can't say that's abnormal for me. Like, there have been times in my life where I've been dieting and really fasting, or really cutting calories and really restricting my diet. And I've done that for a year and a half at different times. And every single night I would dream about bread and and dessert. But I have to say right now I am not. I think I have been really indulging, particularly this week. I have been very well fed by myself and my mom. My mom is an Italian mom. She loves cooking and overfeeding me. It makes her feel like she takes a lot of pride in her cooking. So, like, she expects you to clean your plate, and I don't have a problem doing that. But anytime I'm on a diet, I almost feel like now that I'm living close to her, that's actually hard on her. I mean, it's kind of messed up, but it can be hard on her if I'm watching what I'm eating, because like, she wants to have me up for dinner at least once a week, and it's just yeah, so that's been happening. And it's been like extra this week where it's like, I'm making this. It's like, okay. And the other day I went to the grocery and I didn't get a cart or anything. I was like, I'm not going to get that much stuff. I just wanted like some snacks because I was feeling like a squirrel in this energy, and I just wanted to have snacks in the house. I don't normally keep snacks. I usually keep just really healthy stuff. It's really boring sometimes, but like acai berry bowls with a little bit of granola and coconut flakes and extra berries and different fruits and salmon and stuff like that. So it's usually pretty boring. And so I just really, I think I had watched a video on YouTube of people doing like this tier thing for snacks, and I didn't think that would affect me. I didn't think I would be interested. I thought I was a little bit immune at that point. Wrong. I was like, oh, I really want that. That looked really good. And because sometimes I can watch people eating something or whatever and feel like satisfied in my own self. Like, oh, now I don't need to go eat it because I watched someone else eat it. It wasn't true this week. I was very hungry. Like, when I'll dream of food, that means I don't have to go out and eat it in real life. But this week it was like I'm dreaming of it and I want to feed myself. And so I feel like I'm starting to look like this well-fed man. It's time to fast. It's time to do a cleanse or something. Because it's also made me very kind of feel very heavy in my body. And not my favorite feeling. I feel like anytime there's like that little bit of chill at nighttime or in the morning, my body starts to be like, okay, we gotta make sure we have enough food. It's so primitive. And I've been laughing with my aunt about how much we love food and how much we love snacks. And I shared with her this story of, I went to the grocery and so I didn't get a cart, and I went in there thinking I just wanted to get a couple of the snacks that I saw in the video, but I started like browsing the bakery, and then I had to get like rice crackers because that's kind of a staple for snacks that I have on deck all the time in case I want something crunchy and something that's not inflammatory. And so I got a couple of boxes of those, and then I had like dessert and like other kinds of snacks, and it just started kind of piling up. And I also had my mask on, so I couldn't really see very well. And I was making my way to the front. I think I had like a bag of chips too. And I was making my way up to the front. And has this ever happened to you? It was like Jenga, like a middle piece of the puzzle came out and then everything kind of fell everywhere. So I'm sure there's someone at the grocery looking at the security cam footage of that going down. Luckily nothing broke open, nothing spilled. I've had that experience too, but so that's super embarrassing. So I figured that was a sign I needed to put some things back. Okay, I'm not an actual squirrel. I can always go back. I don't know why I felt like it was like it's now or never. Put it in the pile. So that happened this week. That was just a few days ago. And I was telling my Aunt Cookie about that, and she was laughing at me. And then she was like, wait, because I got these pumpkin cookies that had cream, and they were really sweet, but they were kind of good, and it's starting to become the fall season. So that looked really good to me. And so I got those, and then she was like, wait, where did you get those? Where exactly were they? In the store? we bond on our love for food. And so that definitely happened this week. I'm celebrating because I made it into business alchemy. I'm in a business alchemy program that just completed last month or earlier this month. And I got into the business alchemy master's class, which I'm really excited about. And I was able to come up with all of the tuition and pay in full, which is such a relief, because this last time I did this payment plan and it did not go well. Like, I had trouble coming up with the extra money every month, and there were times where I had to scramble to get the payment together. And this time I was able to pay in full, which feels, and it's a higher tuition. So I'm just so happy about that. I'm really celebrating that because I really wanted to do it and I wasn't sure I'd be able to. So I'm excited about that, taking my business to the next level through the alchemy and through advanced. Oh, it's not masters, it's advanced. I made up my own title. Like, I'm a master. Okay, this is about mastery. It is business. No, it's business alchemy, and this is advanced. I like that word too. Mastery, advanced. I'll take it. All these keywords, right? What else happened this week? We had practice for hypnosis, and I think last time I talked about having doing the meta pattern with people, this hypnosis sequence, and that first step was really eluding me. I was really struggling to get that, and I had a group practice session with my teacher tonight, and she really helped me get why it wasn't quite working. And this comes up for me in a lot of things. I really trust the other person's subconscious, maybe more than I should. I am working on becoming a better leader in that way, really taking over, trusting my own information and studies, and not leaving it just to their subconscious, even though it is powerful, it is resourceful. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity in the subconscious for change, for transformation. But I think it's come up for me in other areas too, where sometimes I'm too passive. And I guess I have this fear of, because I'm overcoming this fixer vibe, and I want other people to trust their own inner knowing. So I'm navigating that, right? Like, but Melissa Tears, she's a great teacher and she's a great model for the mastery of this. And she always reminds me, because I'm so hard on myself, she's like, let me just remind you of my 20 years of how I got to this point. Like, you just took the training. So I'm often hard on myself when I don't get things right away. But, and tonight, for the practice session, we worked on goal, not just goal setting, but goal achievement, living in the end, right? Living in the end and feeling that the emotions, where it shows up in the body, visualizing the success of it, and then asking what the next small step towards that is. And I felt like I got part of that when it was my turn to go. But that's okay. I felt like, well, I can do that on my own. I also, last week, or a few days ago, I did a training with her about, and I think I talked about this on this channel, how having a psychedelic experience through hypnosis, and it was really, really great. I really liked it. There's a revivification process if you've already had sort of a psychedelic experience, not necessarily with psychedelics, but just some kind of euphoric, blissful, awakening kind of moment in life. And did I already say this? I am having deja vu. I may have been talking to myself in preparation for this. And so I might have said this to myself, and now I'm saying it to myself again, but to you. Did I already say this? Anyway, I imagined, oh no, I was recording a voice message to my friend. Anyway, so I imagined my end state at Unleashing the Power Within, the third day where we truly transform. Yeah, I think it's the third day, transformation day, where Tony Robbins takes you through the Dickens method, which is hypnosis, and the end, living in the end. And it's really powerful. Like, he uses music and to really entrain you. Really amazing experience. And then, and I was able to recreate that and amplify it in my body, which isn't quite psychedelic, like, I admit that. But, and then I practiced on a friend, and I'd like to practice more. And he enjoyed the revivification process as opposed to more than the breathing technique, which I actually preferred. I thought the breathing technique really took me somewhere. It was amazing. And I felt so resourceful, and I was connected to this state of who I really am, and the oneness. So that I'm always kind of connected to as an empath, but it was amazing. I saw like how that could be so helpful. I'm also reading a book called The Talent Code, and I'm in this other class called the Raykov Effect, which isn't, I don't really know what that is. I don't know if it's a class. It was just interesting because as I was reading this book about how to rehearse or how to practice in a way that creates mastery in a really abbreviated period of time. And there's this whole process that's been studied, and then I was driving around doing my errands, imagining myself leading someone through this process, sort of like I did in musical theater conservatory, but guiding someone in rehearsing of a song and doing that exact, like showing them exactly how to rehearse. So I don't know if that was a glimpse into the future, because I'm still narrowing my niche around who I really, really love working with, and what exactly I want to help people do. I mean, I'm imagining that it's healing trauma, but I also love working with artists. So I don't know. Transformation all around. Whatever it is, it'll probably be transformation. But I'm still narrowing that down. And the goal that I was tuning into for the hypnosis session was creating this online summit called Your Big Breakthrough. And I want to interview, it's an interview series. I want to interview experts who are artists to some capacity, and also healers to some capacity, or researchers who have applied their science, right? So into session work or transformation work, whatever it is. Or have found a way to combine the two, because I think I really want to kind of explore that intersection. And I thought that would be an interesting topic. I certainly would want to attend that. And the person I was talking to seemed very enthusiastic about it, who was guiding my session. But I never quite got to I just, for me, I can just feel all the details coming in, and it's Virgo new moon. I think it's a new moon in Virgo. So all these details. I had a new moon in Virgo session with my mentor and healer, Shelley of Body Attune today, and it was an incredible session. Really powerful. The spirit animal of octopus came in about resilience and regeneration, and actually also, what is it? Shape-shifting. And that sometimes it is, because I brought up the fact that I'm feeling that I have this deep-seated belief that it's safer to be invisible, which creates sabotage, as you can imagine, and suffering when I put myself out there. Sometimes I regret it. Sometimes I feel anxiety. Sometimes I feel unsafe or re-traumatized in some way. Or just triggered, right? It doesn't have to be a full-blown re-traumatization, but so sometimes I feel that, and then and maybe that is part of the whole freeze, flee, which is dissociation in part, right? When you just dissociate, part of that is the flee. You're fleeing, but it's just your body's not kind of going with you. Your body's not on board, but you're fleeing. You're going somewhere else. And I've been feeling heavy emotions. I've had a lot of friends that are feeling it too. People going through breakups and coming to me. And I found a lot over the years, I've had friends who, when they go through breakups, they see me as like the surrogate or the filler. All of a sudden, like, they need me to step up as a friend and be there more consistently. And I get it. But I do sense that it is codependent. And it's sometimes too much for me because I am such a hermit and I do need a lot of free time. And I'm a manifesting generator and I need a lot of free time to create, to dream up my next big idea or, explore whatever. So, but it has felt good to feel more connected to people this past week. I had a phone call with somebody I hadn't talked to for a year that I went to musical theater conservatory with. And that felt really good, connecting with her. And we talked about how she's doing, and she has written 2 books and she's writing more. And that was really cool. And we kind of just celebrated each other's spiritual progress. And yeah. But I do feel that I'm getting weighed down by the water of the cup suit. Water is very heavy, and I'm feeling extra sort of dreamy in my intuition, disconnected from my body. I really have to mindfully embody. And I mean, that's not unusual for me, but I started to research trauma and how it can affect the electrical current of the body, the currents of the body, like the meridians, right? The meridian points. And someone was talking about, was it Christina Lopes? Dr. Christina Lopes, I think is her name. I always read it as Lopez, but it has an S, so it's Christina Lopes. I think she has a YouTube channel. She's great. I love a lot of her content. She's very smart and wise, and she did a video about dissociation and how the meridian points sometimes will go offline, and that can create disconnect within the body itself, and that can be related to trauma. And that's why you can use acupuncture or even crystal therapy, things like that, when you're working with these currents in the body, right? And reconnecting. So things can come back online and you can feel this sort of integration and embodiment happening. And I felt that. And I feel like I felt that through Reiki and the protocols there. It's hard right now when we're also disconnected, but like I haven't had hands-on therapy, like hands-on energy work or body work in a very, very long time. I mean, I've applied it to myself, but it's not really the same. But yeah, I definitely felt like, well, today I feel much better. I feel like I had more energy to give. I had more vitality to do a video. I don't feel like I'm all there mentally. I don't feel like I'm completely embodied right now, but I also felt like the energy of the 9 of Cups was complete, and I was ready to move on because I could see how I got the money I needed to do the business alchemy advanced training, and that came in during this week, and I had been manifesting that. I've been wishing for that and working on having that, and that came in this week with the 9. So I feel really excited about that. I've been eating a lot. No shortage of food. But it's a little too much. I'm a little overindulgent. And there's something about this, the 9 of Cups being smug. Some people have said because of the way his posture, and that it's this impermanent state of sort of pride, or like it's not complete fulfillment like the 10, right? It's like this, the ego is definitely there involved. So I've definitely been highly influenced by Mars retrograde currently. Mars was in Aries. I don't know if it still is. And it was just my solar plexus definitely felt like I was taking attacks. I could feel when I was having conversations with some people, I could feel the energy leaving my body, like they were really hooking in and siphoning. And I just didn't have extra to give. I mean, I was like, damn, I feel completely empty. And then I would go to a trusted friend. I went to a trusted friend, and he said some things that were really like at first he was being very protective of my energy and of me in general as a person. And then he said some words that I felt were so harsh and not really accurate, but so I knew that they weren't true, but at the same time, it felt like a punch in my solar plexus. And oh, this card is about individuation, solar plexus, right? Because it's a 9. So it is about the individual. It is about individuation, which is felt in the solar plexus. I definitely felt that. I was very sensitive there. I was emotionally sensitive this week. So it wasn't like this stable sense of fulfillment and your wish is granted and it's a happy ending. It was definitely this, a lot of the things I want and need are coming in, but I still have this emotional sensitivity and this going into my ego. There's just like the solar plexus feeling sensitive, and I felt weak a lot of the times. My nose weren't very strong. I felt harsh energy from other people. I felt myself going into rage. But some of that might have been guilt or shame from the past coming up, and this almost like a transmutation of the energy of guilt or shame into something that makes you feel more powerful or perceive yourself as more powerful. Like if you're angry, you're definitely in a more powerful state than if you're in shame, right? It's like, it's not the ideal, but it's definitely more powerful. There's movement to it instead of just wallowing in shame. So you can do something with anger. You can use it for something. You can create a boundary, right? But it's definitely pushing energy, right? And then but I did find that I was just burning alive some days with my rage. But it is this process because they're bonded, right? They're, rage and shame are bonded in a traumatized system. So I found myself working out some of that stuff. But interesting that the 9 is about individuality, and the solar plexus stuff came up. So I find that quite interesting. And a lot of my old insecurities apparently they're not so old because they came up this week, and it was related to the invisibility thing. I was having suffering around feeling invisible, particularly in classes or because I was kind of the invisible girl in elementary school, and I tried to be invisible in high school. I didn't want attention. I didn't like attention. I was just always overstimulated and overwhelmed. And when you don't want attention, that's when you get it. So it seems, although I was successfully invisible for a while. And now where it's like, I still have that belief that it's safer to be invisible, but I don't want to be invisible. Like there are times and moments where recognition would be nice, or validation for something, for an idea, or enthusiasm for something that I'm sharing might be nice. But I haven't really been experiencing that this week. Okay. And that's why this man in the 9 of Cups is patting himself on the back. He's not celebrating with anyone else, right? I guess maybe these are more selfish wishes. Maybe these are, this is a wish fulfillment around, that aren't really wishes fulfilled, but if it's not something you can share, if other people aren't benefiting or appreciative of it, it's not quite as fulfilling. Maybe that's part of the lesson of this card and part of the journey of the process, right? And maybe it's just, this is the moment where we get the wish, we get the fulfillment for what we were trying to create and achieve for ourselves. And then the next card, the 10, we're moving into complete fulfillment, in that making it accessible, shareable, bringing other people in, because that's when something truly feels fulfilling, right? When it's celebrated by more than just you. And that's probably why this smugness is there, right? It's like, this is mine. This is my achievement. So I think that's pretty much it with the 9. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I'm in like another coaching program. I'm in a few coaching programs right now, all teaching me different skills. One is about business, because I'll tell you, you would think some things in business are common sense. I'm learning from scratch. I don't think I really understood anything. And thankfully I'm in one program where he's teaching us from the ground up things that aren't maybe common sense if they haven't been modeled for you. And I have to say, like, as a woman, they really weren't. And I don't know if it's just because I'm a woman. Might have just been my temperament and things like that. You wouldn't have thought I would be interested in that, or maybe even need it. But If you have your own business and you're working on being an entrepreneur, you have to understand these things. It's just, you can't get a pass. So I'm learning that from the ground up. It's not a common sense thing for me, and it's important that I understand. So that was my week with the Nine of Cups. So let me know what your experience was of that. I'm sorry this wasn't like on time, like even close, but I'm working on, that was just a heavy week to try to do any recording, but I feel like I'm in a better place today. So thank you for your patience around that and understanding. Put in the comments how you experienced the 9. Were you feeling anything in the solar plexus? Did you feel people were in need of your energy? Like, how did that show up for you? Did you have any wishes fulfilled, right? Are you seeing the fruits in the manifestation process, things being fulfilled and delivered? All right, well, let's move into the 10. So 10 of Cups, this is Robert M. Place. In a rainbow above, 10 cups arch across the sky. Below, there is a country cottage by a stream. It appears to be similar to the cottage that was depicted in the background on the 2 of Cups, only now it is closer. Interesting. Again, the background is divided from the foreground by a straight line, suggesting that it is a stage set. A man and woman embrace as each holds one hand out toward the rainbow. Their 2 children dance to their right. The scene appears to be the happy ending in a play. Perhaps the man and woman are the same 2 who toasted each other on the 2 of Cups card. This card represents family life, joy, contentment, and faithfulness. That sounds great. Now, what might it mean if the 10 of Cups shows up in a spread for divination purposes? Happiest card in the minor arcana, happy family and life, emotional bliss, blessings, partnership, home, marriage, happily ever after. Appearance of cups in a rainbow. It is contemplated in wonder and ecstasy by a man and woman below, evidently husband and wife. His right arm is about her, his left raised upward as she raises her right arm. The 2 children dancing near them have not observed the prodigy, but are happy after their own manner. There is a home scene beyond, meaning contentment, repose of the entire heart, the perfection of that state. If with several picture cards, a person who is taking charge of the querent's interests. Also the town, village, or country inhabited by the querent. Family, ancestry, karma, and laying the past to rest. Playing out familial patterns and doing justice to them. Healing old, harmful patterns revisited from ancient relatives, whilst simultaneously bringing their wisdom forward, recognizing that you are a link in a chain, and that what came before the previous links were important, vital. They mattered, just as you and your influence matter to your great, great, great relatives of the future. And that last part was Alice B. Grist's intuitive meaning. So let's go to the Biddy Tarot. Bridget's meaning for the 10. Upright, divine love, blissful relationships, harmony, alignment. The 10 of Cups embodies happiness, joy, and emotional contentment, particularly in your relationships and family. You have created an abundance of love and happiness in your life, and you now share this love with others, expanding your heart even more. This card often appears when you are surrounded by your loved ones with whom you share a powerful and deep connection. You appreciate and support one another, and together you help each other reach your highest potential. It brings you so much joy to see your loved ones succeed and live happy lives. The 10 of Cups is the happy family card, suggesting that your family relationships are harmonious and loving right now. No one is fighting or causing any tension. All family members are getting along with each other and sharing in the love and happiness that surrounds you. This card may appear in a reading when you are spending more time with family, perhaps on a holiday, reunion, or event where you can rest and relax together, creating fun and happy family memories and strong bonds. The Ten of Cups is a positive card for romantic relationships and may indicate either a new and blissful relationship or a long-term commitment, such as engagement, marriage, or starting a family together. You share an everlasting love and may believe that you are soulmates destined to be with one another. When the Ten of Cups pops up in a tarot reading, you have a sense of wholeness, completion, and alignment in your relationships with others. You are experiencing an idyllic state of peace, harmony, and love where your dreams and wishes have come true. Take a moment to step back and appreciate everything you accomplished. You created a life of connection and bliss by following your heart and trusting your intuition. The Ten of Cups encourages you to follow your heart and trust your intuition to lead you to the opportunities aligned with your highest good. Your feelings and emotions will guide you. When something feels fantastic, do more of it. And when something doesn't feel right, do less of it. Allow your inner guidance to lead the way. Seek out opportunities that fulfill you and align with your personal values instead of following the path that others expect you to take. I can definitely feel that coming in, especially that last part about expectations of others. This is our last week in the Cups suit, which is exciting because we're moving forward, moving out of the water, out of intuition. All right, so let's use some sound. The frosted crystal singing bowl to help integrate the lessons and wisdom from the Nine of Cups and carry out intentions for synchronicities and deeper understanding of the Ten of Cups. More experiences with that energy. All right, so you might want to close your eyes, get in touch with your breath, and focus on those two cards. Beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed your week. I'm looking forward to this one. Thanks for liking the video and subscribing to the channel and sharing with anyone who might enjoy this journey as well, or that can relate to some of the information that came in. And remember, we're using this to deepen our relationship to the cards and the symbolism there, and to increase our spiritual immunity and understand the manifestation process. So I hope that's happening for you. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, Empath.